Classic. There we go. All right. Definitely sound going through now.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, if there
Welcome
wasn't
to Cardcast number 5.
Yeah. Yeah, if there wasn't any sound before, I was on vacation last week. Super sorry we didn't have a Cardcast.
Yeah.
But I made a post on our community post. But we've got some technical difficulties. I'm trying to set up the overhead cam here, and it's giving me fits. So, Mike, would you like to do the introduction?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Welcome to Cardcast number 5. If you've been here for all 5, thank you. If you haven't, welcome. It's coming straight from the warehouse, obviously. But this is Nate. I'm Mike. I'll probably just run through some stuff that I've bought this week. Just to get started while we get the technical stuff out of the way. It's been a crazy week. We've bought stuff mostly vintage, which is kind of crazy. I mean, we buy our usual new stuff all the time, but hundreds of base cards, rookie cards, stuff like that. We do that almost daily. But we had a bunch of nice vintage deals come in, regular deals too, some Mahomes stuff. I think probably the easiest one to start off with is a Mahomes deal that came in. Lots of graded Mahomes, several a Prism rainbow set almost.
Mm-hmm.
Had like 15 to 20 of them, and those almost went immediately.
Those all sold? Oh yeah, one guy.
Them, yeah.
Wouldn't one guy bought like all of them? Oh,
yeah.
There we go. There we go, baby. We got this.
There it is.
We got this.
One guy bought most of it. Another guy bought the cheaper stuff, and I've got a few of the numbered ones left. But yeah, lots of Mahomes, probably 15 graded cards, almost the entire Prism. That was a big deal. It filled up our showcase with Mahomes stuff right before the season started. Another Mahomes deal we had was 2 rookie autographs. A 2017 unparalleled rookie patch auto, numbered to 99. And then also a prestige auto PSA 9. So those were kind of cool. Rookie autographs, rookie years, all that stuff. But the unique stuff was some of the vintage stuff that came in that, I mean, probably this week, the last 10 days in vintage stuff is stuff that I haven't seen. A couple of them I haven't seen forever. Like, I've never had that many 1955 Topps All-American cards before. We had, VGX to X cards of Jim Thorpe and Newt Rockney and the 4 Horsemen. All that stuff, like over half the set. And then also after that came a vintage deal out of Kansas, Western Kansas actually, and had a complete 61 top set, a complete 62 top set, a partial 55 set, and a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but several of the key 61 Fleer basketball cards. So the 61 Fleer you just never see. And it was really lucky it came to us because they were just sitting there and not in penny sleeves, not in anything, like barely even in the box.
They weren't in penny sleeves?
No, they were in top loaders, but they weren't in penny sleeves. And they were in those like yellowish top loaders from the 80s,
Yeah.
And then just today we bought about 300 PSA graded cards. Everything from 1970s base cards, stuff like that, to 1980s Hall of Famers, PSA 10s. So it's been a lot of cards come in lately. A lot of high-end cards, a lot of bulk cards, all that kind of stuff. I think some of them are getting ready to be shown here.
Yeah, so these are the 61 Fleers. Let me get my bearings here. This is so weird.
It's over here.
Oh yeah,
just under the camera.
it's like back. It's like upside down.
And backwards.
It's upside down and backwards. This is weird. Anyways, yeah. Is that Jerry West rookie?
That's his inaction. Yeah.
Inaction
All
rookie.
the good players have 2 cards in this set.
Bob Cousy. Don Ole, that's just a common, but it was one of them that we got. Bill Russell.
Bill Russell in action.
That's his inaction.
Mm-hmm.
Not his rookie, though, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Elgin Baylor rookie.
Elgin Baylor rookie, yeah.
And Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, just a Wilt.
Just a Wilt Chamberlain. We can get the wax off. Well, actually, this is the one that it really doesn't have much wax on it. Like, very little. So we're thinking it's maybe a 4. So
hoping for a 5, but probably a 4.
You could have totally like just skipped over that.
It was literally in a Velveeta cheese box.
My dad used to use those.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very fortunate to have the opportunity to use those. Or to get those, to be able to work with them, and just, I mean,
you don't see these every day. I mean, this card's high book value in the Beckett right now is $20,000.
Gee, my knees.
I mean, if you look it up in the price guide, I know nobody uses price guides anymore, but it gives you a snapshot of where it's at.
That's
one of the iconic basketball cards out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that card.
I hope everybody can see us, but like everything's froze on my screen right now.
Okay.
Like I can't see us talking or anything. Not that that's a big deal, but it's just kind of weird. So, anyways, yeah, it has been a crazy week. It has been a crazy week. Just getting the opportunity to, like, you sent me that message, and I've never seen these in person before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never seen a Wilt Chamberlain rookie in person before. It's easy to get desensitized when you're going through so much stuff, but definitely when you come across something like this, or those 55 All-Americans, I mean, it just it gets you going, gives you that feeling of like what it's like to be a hobbyist, a collector, and not just be in the business all the time. So, is it froze on there too?
I think so.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So,
hey Sean, see you there, man. Geoff is selling a kit on how to run your own YouTube channel. Brought to you by eBay.
Yeah, about that. I mean, cool, I guess. Like, yeah, that's cool.
He's an expert on building a business that doesn't have to do with cards.
If you're not basing it on cards, I think that's all right. But like this whole thing, cards is not.
We're getting it figured out, boys.
Yeah,
boys and girls.
We might have to end it and like start it back over. I don't know. It's just frozen, as far as I can tell. Hold on. Damn it. See. Okay, we're back.
Back and better than ever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So much technical difficulty. This is not acceptable. But anyways, yeah, last week I was in North Carolina. Went out there to visit my cousin, and while I was there, I stopped by some card shops. And went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It was really interesting to me because working in this business, and I haven't got to experience a whole lot, but you notice so much more about how people operate, and the questions you ask are different. So the first shop we went into was in a, as my cousin would say, a ritzy-titsy neighborhood.
Okay.
And I bet this guy had, just from what was around, I bet he was paying $8,000 a month.
Holy cow.
On a shop that was not much bigger than a refrigerator. And I mean, everything was, for the most part, everything was just way overpriced. I mean, he was paying that lease by the people that came in there that either didn't know what stuff was worth or didn't care. Like that amount of money, like an extra $20 doesn't mean anything to them. And that's one way of doing it, I guess. But I definitely didn't spend any money there. That's just not a philosophy that I want to support.
Yeah.
And he's not going to come down enough to make it a deal that I want to do.
Yeah.
The next shop we went to was still in town, but was kind of middle of the road. They had bought it about a year and a half, these two guys, and it looked like they were in partnership. But it was again pretty small, lots of stuff in there, but not a lot of stuff to look at. And like it just wasn't. The thing about that shop was, because I was trying to find a connection to trade out. This was in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I was trying to find a connection to trade out their local players for our local players. So trade out LaMelo Ball and Christian McCaffrey for Patrick Mahomes and whatever else, Bobby Wood Jr., whatever else we could trade out. Avoid fees, get some stuff that'll sell in shop, and get them some stuff. So I asked the guys, like, well, who are your big sellers? Like, who sells the best in shop? I was like, LaMelo Ball, Christian McCaffrey. He's like, no. He's like, really? We don't sell, like, whoever's the best. Like, it's all about the money is basically what he told me. Like, it's all about, like, everybody that comes into that place. And again, it was kind of middle of the road. Everything to them is about investment. So, your Christian McCaffrey rookies are $20 and they're not, people don't want them or whatever. And so I thought that was interesting. But again, like
that's somebody that's bought in the last year, though, right?
Year and a half. Yeah, that's what he said. Year and a half. So
that makes sense.
Maybe it was last May.
Yeah, it makes sense then.
Yeah.
On why he's buying it. There, I mean, you attract what you are, Yeah. So if that's what he's doing,
yeah,
and he got into it a year and a half ago, that's who he's attracting.
And of the two, like, grown, like, guys in their 40s, 50s, 40s, late 40s probably, of the two guys that were in there, the partners, one was on one side of the room in front of the showcases, like with his head down at his computer on like listing stuff the whole time, and the other was on the other side, like stripping out binders the whole time. Like, there's a certain amount, like, you can't do a lot of customer service in cards. People are more introverted and they don't want to be sold necessarily. Most people, at least the people that come in here, like, they want to look around and they want to do their own thing. And you can scare them off by being too interactive. But there's definitely a line, and they were on the other side of the line where I'm standing in front of the guy looking at the Chiefs stuff, and I have to say, hey, can I look at your Chiefs stuff? Which to his answer to that was, well, I'm not going to get all of it out. And I'm like, no, like the stuff that's literally right in front of you. Like the stuff in the showcase, the Mahomes and stuff like that. So I looked, and I mean, again, I could have made him a deal, but I was just like, no. Yeah. Like, I could pay retail for that stuff, bring it back here, and you'd buy it and sell it out of the shop.
Yeah.
But I could pay retail for that stuff anywhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything too special. So I finally went to the third one. This is a guy from St. Louis, not that means anything. Rally Squirrel Sports Cards in Charlotte, North Carolina. He was really cool. Had a bunch of singles, had a bunch of 4 rows with patch autos, relics and autos, and a bunch of different stuff. Some kids came in. He was really good with them. And, I bought some Royals and Chiefs patch auto stuff.
Yeah.
But it was definitely really interesting. It's the first time I've been able to get out and really inspect some other shops and stuff like that. So, it's really pretty interesting.
It's different.
Every one of them.
I'm surprised Charlotte only had 3 or so,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's close to as big a town as Kansas City.
They had 3 on our side of town.
I see.
So it'd be like 3 in Liberty.
In the Gladstone Liberty, strip.
Gladstone Liberty. Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
They probably had 10 or 12 or something like that. But
that makes sense.
3 that were like kind of semi-close to where we were on that side of town.
I see.
But yeah, it was really interesting, and it just kind of, it's like, what are your motives? What are you trying to do? Like, how are you trying to make money and why? Type thing.
The line, this is my new go-to line, but the line between dealer and collector has never been closer. I mean, it's literally undetectable now.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you mean by that?
I mean, used to, you would come into a card shop. I mean, and I'm saying used to. I mean, 25 years ago or 30 years ago, you'd come into a card shop. You'd realize that the dealer, the shop owner, needed to make some money when he bought cards, and it was never. I mean, if you were lucky, if you got 75% in trade value.
Oh yeah.
And most of the time, they wanted to buy it for 25 to 50%. I mean, if you offer somebody 25% at eBay now, they'll just laugh at you.
Sure.
So what I mean by that is the line's never been closer between. I mean, basically they're the same. It just depends on how much work you want to do.
There's a way.
I mean, I'm selling to the same people. Point. I'm selling on eBay. I'm selling to the same people that you would be selling to.
Right.
So we're both dealers to them.
Yeah.
Or we're both weekend warrior types to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean by the line's never been. It's just depending on how much you want to do. I've got 80 hours, 90 hours, 100 hours a week to do it. You may have 5 because you got a family and kids, and that's the only difference.
Yeah.
I mean, the only difference is how much time you want to spend doing it.
Yeah. And how do you maximize your time?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that 5 hours? And how do you maximize your time? And that's kind of what we talk about all the time, which in our mind, in our viewpoint, you know, you buy it for less than you sell it for. You buy in bulk as much as you can, and you try to buy in person, I think.
Right, yeah. But the reason you buy in bulk is because you can get it cheaper, because you're not just buying inventory.
Right.
You're taking all these headaches out of their. I mean, I buy stuff that people are happy that I'm giving them anything for.
Yeah.
You know, like commons and stuff that's sitting on their kitchen table that their wife wants them to get out of there.
There's a happy medium.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's a lot of that. At the same time, when, you know, like you buy all 300 graded cards that walk in because you don't pick or choose 10 of them.
Right.
I mean, you get a much better deal if you buy everything.
Yeah.
So you just have to know how to buy everything to make it worth your time.
Yeah.
And that comes with having outlets for it to go away right away if you want it to, or as soon as possible in some cases, you know, or to have the ability to list it all, or the ability to make it profitable to list all that stuff. I mean, there still are some separations between like dealers and consumers, but it's never been closer. I mean,
it's mainly your buying opportunity is the way I have seen it since I've came in here, which is I never wanted to have a shop.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Now that I've been introduced to it, you know, I'm more comfortable with the idea, but seeing your buying opportunity, the fact that having a storefront, people are coming in off the street looking for money, and as long as you're willing to make them a fair deal, you know, a fair deal compared to the people around you that are buying, then you've just constantly got stuff coming in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the stuff that comes in. A lot of the stuff that comes in is new. A lot of the stuff that's come in is previous people that I've dealt with.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's new. I mean, 75% of it's people I've met in the past year that we've been open, 10 months that we've been open.
Yeah.
And they're coming back and they're bringing more. And, that wouldn't have happened without a shop. I mean,
right.
I'd still be here in my, twiddling my thumbs at 10 o'clock at night instead of being on a podcast if I hadn't opened the shop. So. And
1 out of 10 of those, it's funny because I'd say about 1 out of 10 people that come in, maybe it's less than that, but is sent here, went to another shop first and got sent here.
3 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually the junk, the 90s stuff, that I'd probably buy that nobody else will, that, fills a need for us, but also creates problems. You know what I
Right.
mean? But there's one today that, you know, put several $1,000s in inventory in the shop, you know, that was sent from another shop. So
this is the good stuff out of this, but there's 2 more boxes full of all PSA graded,
over 300, I think.
mostly 70s and 80s. Nothing before the 70s, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I
Maybe
mean,
1 or 2 60s.
like this is a common, right? Like none of these, yeah.
But yeah,
It's rookies.
PSA 10.
But it's a PSA 10 1977 rookie pitchers. You're not like those cards. You don't find those cards. There won't be hard. If there's ever any more of those, there won't be many. Especially with how strict PSA's gotten, and you don't need these, do you?
Mm-mm.
How strict PSA's gotten, and how much it costs to grade stuff nowadays. A lot of people are putting these sets together, and the PSA 9s and the PSA 10s are getting really hard to come by.
For the foreseeable future, the pop reports are the pop reports.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, good luck. Nobody's grading these cards right now.
Nobody's sending in a 74 tops Dave Lopez.
Even if they gave him 11, they wouldn't send it in.
this whole
This is nines.
row here is
9s and 10s.
9s
right?
and 10s from the 70s or 10s from the 80s. And then there's a couple Clemens autographs in there. If you want to show them,
Yeah.
I'll be back in just a minute.
All right. I mean, there's some really cool stuff in here. Stuff you don't see every day, for sure. I mean, like a 73 Topps Lou Brock PSA 9. A Gem Mint 10. Schmitty 85 Top Schmidt. 85 Donruss Raleigh Fingers PSA 10. I mean, this card I would sell you for a quarter all day long, but now it's 30 to 40 bucks. Nolan Ryan PSA 10, 89 traded. 83 Topps Yaz PSA 10. 79 Topps team card. Yankees PSA 9. I mean, there's just all kinds of cards that you wouldn't even recognize on how hard they are to get PSA. There's a 77 Winfield PSA 9. I mean, that card's pretty tough. But I mean, just looking at it, I can see corners. It's off centered, like, and these cards were graded. You can tell by the serial numbers these cards are probably graded 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, at least.
Are they ones?
Twos,
so
yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
At least.
Yep. And they were walked in, and the guy that had him, at least according to his story, lived in LA at the time and walked into him and, you know, paid $6 a card back then.
Shame and
Yeah. And sold some better stuff to pay for that stuff, but I mean, it's just a unique situation. We're really fortunate in the opportunity to be around as long as we have, that when other dealers get what they want, get what they, you know, and we solve problems a little bit, you know, because if the guy gets cherry picked by a dealer and then has some left over, the fact that he's getting anything out of the leftover stuff sometimes is a benefit. That, I mean, of course I want to get the first, but we're in the position where every card that comes in has a home.
And that's right. That's right. It's a benefit to the seller, but we're not gonna beat around the bush or anything. Like, there are advantages to being the second guy in line, where he's like, you know, where the seller's like, you know, well, this is a bonus. You know, I got rid of, you know, I got some money out of that stuff, and whatever I get out of this is a bonus. You know, at least it makes the deals go more smooth. I don't think you ever look at it like that. I mean, I'm not like, I don't think you look at it like that, but it makes the deals easier. Like,
I think it does, yeah.
Most of the people that come in here, I don't know the percentages. I'm not out there. I try to stay back here in my cave and not
you just
go
get
out.
A wide view of it. Just without any sound sometimes.
I just hear what's going on out there. But most of those deals, those people don't walk away, and they don't walk away unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, they're happy with how it goes. And
my philosophy is to buy what's in front of me. So, I mean, people have situations, people have either issues or they come in a lot of time, they don't know what they got.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be told what they got. They want to, basically, they want an appraisal before they sell. And I'll tell them, you know, this stuff is worth $200, but I'm probably the only one that's going to offer you $100 for it.
Yep.
I was like, my offer's good. You're welcome to take it out and see other people, you know, take other chances. I want you to get the most for your cards.
Yeah.
You know, so I just had that happen today with a kid, and he wanted to come do a trade, and he couldn't find anything he wanted to trade for, and because he wanted some higher end wax stuff that we don't carry, basically. And I said, my offer's good. Come back tomorrow if you don't find it, you know. So
yeah.
You buy what's in front of you. It doesn't matter. I'm not the type of guy that's going to take advantage of I'm not going to take advantage of somebody because they don't know that they have 61 fleers.
Right.
You know, that's not, you get too many headaches, too many road bumps. It's like, do business the right way all the time and you'll be fine.
That's short-term business.
Yeah,
that's not
for
long-term
sure.
business.
Yeah. I mean, that if that happens to you, then, I mean, we have a lot of referrals, and we have a lot of referrals from other businesses even.
Yeah.
Because they know that their business depends on me treating that person right as well.
Yeah.
So anybody that sends them my way, any shop that sends them my way we're connected in that customer's mind.
Yeah.
So you got to treat them the right way.
And we do a lot of work here. We put in a lot of hours in this shop. You and me both. You more than me, but you and me both.
Both of us do.
But it's still just hours.
Yeah.
You know, and so I guess if we wanted to open at noon and go home at 7, then yeah, we pass up on a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, everyone else out there they might not have the outlets that we have as far as taking it in, but they have the same amount of hours.
Sure.
You know, if they want to hire people or whatever. But
yeah.
But it's just, and it like you said, like the line's never been closer. I'm glad you explained that, but the opportunities never been closer either.
Yeah.
The person sitting at home, you know, doesn't have the same buying opportunities necessarily. You can go find them. You can advertise for them. I know people that don't have shops that spend money to advertise in metroplexes to you know, it might be a place. You know, there's people that advertise in Oklahoma City that live here and spend a decent amount of money advertising to set up buying opportunities, you know.
There's no literally the barrier to entry to be a car dealer is 0.
Yeah.
Like eBay doesn't cost you a dime until you sell something. I mean, it's literally 0.
Yep.
You could be a business and not spend a dime in advertising, and just go out and do the groundwork.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't like it, but if you spend 40 hours a week trying to hit Walmarts and all the places that sell retail, you could make a living.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you'd be on the road all day.
Yeah.
You know, but you could do it.
Yeah.
And work 4 days a week, you know, have weekends off, just like the stalkers, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's never been closer. There's never been more opportunities for anybody. It's never been better than it is right now. Well, February may have been a little better, but
it was better. It was better
for single card resale for sure.
Yeah, it was better.
But it's still way higher than it's ever been. I mean, I don't see it's going to take something major to derail the direction we're going, because even the new football class, we're 2 weeks into the football season, and there's no rookies that are jumping out of the system. You know, Mac Jones, or, you know, there's no rookies that are just carrying products, you know, like Zion and Ja were.
No.
Or like Herbert and Burrow were.
No, Trey Lance, or not Trey Lance. Trevor Lawrence was, what was it, 10 for 23?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's already got 5 or 6 picks.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
Doesn't make Urban Meyer look good.
You mean the head coach of USC?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Go Trojans.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, football products may be down a little. I've heard good things about the basketball class. They've said it's maybe the best class in 10 years, but none of them played. Some of them played in the G League, and Oklahoma State didn't go very far. We didn't see a lot of Cade Cunningham, so who knows? But
everybody's excited about them.
Yeah.
So basketball's so weird right now because I think you have fans that are also in the card space, but not until the season starts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like football in that respect, but I think a lot of the basketball market is fan driven. And so, like right now, like there's nothing happening, it doesn't feel like, and there should be. Like James Harden, I feel very confident that James Harden does not feel very good about the way things left off at the end of last season, and he's probably going to come out and look like a damn superhuman.
Yeah.
Like whenever this season starts, that's not hard for him, and so it's like, in football you can't necessarily count on that. You can't count on Derrick Henry coming back and being superhuman, but in basketball you can kind of, I mean, maybe I'll eat my words, but you can count on James Harden and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and those type of guys, as long as they're healthy. Yeah. LeBron, and as long as those guys are healthy, they're going to come out and they're going to be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of weird that but I mean, I'll take advantage of it. I mean, I'll keep buying stuff.
Football is the same. Football is different. That everybody bought it and was going to sell in August, and the prices didn't really jump.
Yeah,
I mean, they went up a little, but not like in the past. And I think it's because there was enough people selling to keep it down. Well, the fact that it went up at all, it's surprising to me.
The fact that it went up at all is surprising to me. The fact that it didn't go down a lot between the national and the beginning of the season, because that's what I had predicted, and I think there was a ton of selling, but it just evened out. I mean, it's supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
It evened out. The amount of buying was similar to the amount of selling, whereas as in the past, that wasn't necessarily the case.
People were buying a lot more than selling. I mean, people were last minute buyers, were trying to buy football before the season started. But it's just not, I mean, we're 2 weeks in, and I mean, it's Kyler Murray, and it's who,
Yeah.
Like, who's gone up in the last 2 weeks? I mean, Lamar Jackson stuff tripled after they beat the Chiefs, but it's probably back to normal or close to it.
Yeah.
Mahomes was already so high. If they would have to go 20-0 for stuff to go up.
Even Sam Darnold, we were talking about. I was asking you about Sam Darnold, how Sam Darnold stuff was doing, and you were telling me, it'd gotten so high, people planning on him, speculating that he could do well. Yeah. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, it's gone up a little, but it hasn't taken any percentage level jumps because people were buying him thinking he was going to do better than the floor was so low with him. Like if he goes 26 for 36 like he did and 300 or 280 yards, that's a great game. Like the floor was low. Same thing with Jameis Winston, 5 touchdowns, but he threw like 14 times or whatever it was, and then he comes out in week 2 and bombs.
Yeah.
Like that's the Jameis Winston,
That's the Jameis Winston we know and love.
Yeah, it's like as long as your cards are always really good until we see you fail.
That's just
anytime.
It doesn't matter the sport.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, baseball and football, anyways.
Yeah.
Like basketball has a little longer lifespan because the guys, when they get into it,
they're 19.
And they tend to, unless there's any major injuries, they tend to trend up or level off.
Yeah.
Once they're all-stars, they stay all-stars for the most part. And, it's just a more, it's not a running back that had 2,000 yards last year that has 600 this year or 800 or whatever.
Yeah, it's it's a weird time right now too. I mean, everything should be amping up. Football just started. Baseball's coming down to the pennant races. Basketball's getting started, or should training camps are starting soon.
Training camp starting.
Yeah,
you're starting to get that buzz around basketball. You're starting to see more Perkins, and they just came out, said Ben Simmons is refusing to play for Philadelphia ever again. He's not reporting training camp. Wojnarowski or whatever. Woj. Yeah. So you're starting to get the drama leading up to the season.
Yeah, it needs a deadline.
It needs, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then baseball's going to be interesting in the playoffs. We were talking about we need to process the baseball stuff so that we've got those guys available to put up on eBay or whatever whenever they, hit a walk-off in a playoffs.
There's definitely opportunities to, that's where no names are made stars and stars are made superstars. It's the month of October. Yeah. Aaron Boone got his nickname in October. Aaron Bleepin' Boone.
Yeah.
That was his nickname. That was because of October. Reggie Jackson was Mr. That's where, someone like Vladimir Guerrero, if he carries a series and carries the Blue Jays to the second round, and hits 400 with 4 homers, his stuff could go nuts.
Yeah.
But also, someone like Eloy Jimenez or Luis Robert could go nuts, and their stuff could go nuts, and they're kind of, right now, they're on the lower end of it.
Yeah.
But you got to have that stuff ready, because there could be a guy hit 2 homers or a guy throw a shutout or something that's not, Carlos Rodon or somebody like that, Those teams are going to be in the playoffs, all Kevin Gossman stuff is pitching lights out for the Giants. And if he wins 2 games in a 5-game series, his stuff could go up. So, and it's nothing now. Close to nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a guy that's, a star because of the way he pitches. It could be a superstar if he does it. It's happened a lot of times.
Yeah.
But you got to have that stuff ready, because everybody's going to be, everybody will sell their Kevin Gossman stuff if he's hot. That stuff's got to be ready to go that night.
Yeah, it needs to be
take full advantage of the situation.
It needs to be up the day before.
Right. Definitely.
But yeah, if we have a Randy Arozarena this year, we need to be ready.
That's right. It. Yeah, exactly. Perfect example.
Yeah. And a lot of times, they don't, until the awards start coming out and that type of thing. A lot of the younger guys, we've talked about this 2021 class and how, just how cheap some of their stuff is. Nobody is really impressed by them. But when they award Rookie of the Year to Jonathan India, there's a good chance that, he'll get an uptick. And, Adolis Garcia. 28-year-old Adolis Garcia. He had a good first half of the year. First half.
He was an all-star.
Yeah.
Rookie all-star.
Yeah.
He'll have that thing his hat on.
He'll
forever.
Be sitting in his recliner at home whenever.
Selling insurance.
Sure as heck. He's not going to be playing baseball.
Probably not much longer.
But yeah, it's exciting, and there's just a ton of ways to be creative. Like when I was in Charlotte, I went by the NASCAR Hall of Fame, which is super awesome. And if you're in Charlotte, I highly recommend it. I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, but the NASCAR Hall of Fame is a ton of fun. They've got a driving simulator thing, and it's just really cool. But while I was there, I went by their fan shop, and they didn't have any NASCAR cards. And we just so happened to have an abundance of NASCAR cards.
I think 2 is too many.
2 is an abundance. 2 NASCAR cards is an abundance.
200,000
if you're trying to sell them. Yeah, 200,000 is way too many. But I did ask them about it, and I got the card for their purchasing agent for their shop. And so I'm gonna try to get a hold of her and see if I can put some repacks together, some team bag packs, and try to get some of that stuff sold. But that's not. That's an item that places like that would be interested in. they're probably not interested in 2021 Prism NASCAR that's maybe $250 a box.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
$8-10 a pack or whatever. But if I can put some really cool repacks together with Hall of Famers and not just like the three hottest
Haley
guys
Dugan,
from this year, yeah,
whatever her name is.
Haley Deegan,
yeah, Haley Deegan.
Yeah, then maybe we've got a niche there that can liquidate some of our NASCAR reserves.
Yeah. That's kind of made me think of what Fanatics is gonna do. Trying to put hobby packs at the lids in the mall, and how that's gonna work.
Yeah,
like how that's gonna just crash and burn.
Well, I mean,
unless the people that are used to going to shops can transfer over there, but
a lot of people have come in here and sold Gravity stuff from lids.
Yeah,
and they're getting it because people that go into lids don't buy cards. That's how they're getting it. But with the thing, and I don't know, did they make the same deal with the NFL and the NBA where the Players Association and the league
I think they're more intertwined.
Partners.
I think so, but I'm not positive.
Has ownership, so they're probably
the leagues have ownership.
Yeah. So every fan shop's probably going to carry cards.
Probably.
But
I don't know if we've even talked about that part of it. Like I know we spent a whole podcast almost bashing on it, but
yeah, they're garbage.
Yeah. Rightly so. I don't mean not.
They're garbage people. They're a garbage company, and they should be broken up.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Not that there's anything wrong.
There's a chance. The only way that turns out positive for the consumer is if Fanatics buys Topps.
Yeah.
Or buys Panini.
Yeah.
And then the people that have been around for more than 5 or 6 years see the return of Topps Chrome football and SPX football and SP Authentic football.
If they get Upper Deck,
yeah. They Topps Chrome basketball, SPX basketball, and NFL or in NBA uniforms. I mean, that used to be it. That was it. The SP Authentic rookie was the rookie.
Yeah.
Like go look for Kevin Durant SP Authentic patch autos.
Yeah.
Or Exquisite. I mean, can you imagine Exquisite nowadays?
I can't imagine what they would retail for.
Yeah.
What the boxes would retail for.
Well, take Flawless and put it on steroids.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it was $600 when everything else was $50.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, if you bring back those brands, and you can, instead of flooding the market, instead of cutting out every single middleman and bring back all those brands for all 3 companies, you're still gonna mess it up.
If you could have a Jordan, LeBron, Luka, whoever, like Jalen Green, quad patch auto or whatever,
or LeBron James Topps Chrome throwback rookie auto, something like that.
Just LeBron and Jordan autos again.
Yeah, and Topps and Panini stuff.
Topps
National
Panini
Treasures, Jordan autos, and Bulls uniform.
I wonder if you could get like crossover. Has anybody ever done crossover cards where it's like Mike Trout and LeBron James?
Yeah, Upper Deck did some of that stuff. Gowdy did some of that stuff. What was that brand that used to do it a lot? The ones I've seen the most of were like at the the industry summit cards.
Yeah.
That it would have like the Upper Deck spokesman on it. So it'd be like Gretzky, Jordan, LeBron, whoever else they had. Those were really cool.
And they were autos?
Yeah. But they were like industry summit 1-of-1s and stuff. There was that one, gosh, it was 02, 03, where they had cities. So it would be like, back then it was like Sammy Sosa and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, they did that set too, but that was 15 years ago, 18 years ago.
Imagine if you had
Mahomes
Gretzky,
and Bobby Witt.
Yeah. Mahomes and Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
Exactly. Gretzky, Jordan, Tom Brady,
Yeah.
and Mike Trout.
Yeah. The Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmores.
Golly. Like, they'd have to invent a new number of money.
They'd be instantly in the top 10 of cards ever.
Yeah. Get ready for that, Chris Sewell.
Yeah, right. All 10 of them this week are this card numbered to 10, sold 10 times.
Oh, if you're listening, Fanatics, I was just joking. You know, please provide us with direct accounts. They're not listening.
They're not listening.
Nike logo man cards are hot. Hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take.
All the time.
I like that. Phillies win and walk off. Another hot take. I like this. Bryce Harper wins MVP.
That's a chance.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, that's a chance.
Nick Castellanos rookies go up to $5.
I hope so.
That's a
Classics.
hot take. That's a hot take. I took some out of the
2014 classics go up to $2.
I took some out of the dollar box while I was out there. None of the classics though. They're worth $1.
Yeah. 400 of them.
NASCAR Natalie Decker.
Okay.
She sounds like she would be popular in NASCAR.
Yeah.
I've heard the popularity in NASCAR has actually gone down though.
Really?
Yeah, like I always knew of NASCAR being like the number one sport in America, like number one spectator sport, like most popular sport.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's like, I mean, like you go to, the horseshoe or something, and there's 100,000 people there watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go to Michigan, there's 100,000. But you go to a NASCAR race, there's 100,000 people there. And you go the next week, and there's 100,000 people. But like 80,000 are the same people just following them around in campers, right? Like it's only the most popular because it's the same people.
And the other 20,000 are the people selling stuff.
Yeah.
Like they have the biggest,
local guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the same people everywhere.
1,000 of them are topless out in the middle of the track.
I love NASCAR.
Yeah. Yeah. But seriously, like it's
crazy that their cards aren't worth more for real.
It is crazy. It's crazy.
Like the two most loyal fan bases, I would say, in cards. Well, not now. I mean, the top three were definitely soccer, MLS, NASCAR, and hockey. Those were. If you found one of those three fans, they were into it. Like
in cards?
Yeah.
When?
Up until recently. Up until like 2 or 3 years ago.
Up until
yeah. But if someone collected hockey, they collected hockey.
Right.
If someone collected MLS, they were all in. They collected, And it was the same with NASCAR. If they collected NASCAR, they wanted one of everything that ever came out. Because they could. I mean, there was only 5 releases a year, maybe.
Yeah.
So they could have one of everything. Like they wanted one, but it's changed. It's definitely changed. Like the hotness of it has changed. But if you still to this day, you get numbered hockey stuff, like it sells immediately.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you're probably shipping it to Canada, but it sells immediately. Yeah.
It's all right as long as they're paying for the shipping.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. eBay Global.
$3.99, $11 shipping.
eBay International Standard Delivery Global Shipping Program.
I like it.
Vlad winning MVP, another hot take. Are Ohtani cards still selling? I think that's an interesting subject.
It's a good question.
In my mind, Ohtani's guaranteed to win the MVP, no matter what happens, because Major League Baseball needs him to. In their mind, they need him to.
I would think so. Yeah.
They've built him up as the messiah of baseball, the savior of baseball. At least they did during the All-Star game.
Right. It's it comes down to, I mean, Mike Trout's been the best player in the game for a decade now, but he's not Jordan level, he's not LeBron level, because he's never won a playoff game.
Mm-mm.
And it's the same on a micro scale. In October, we're gonna have an entire month of baseball without Shohei Ohtani. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Vlad's gonna be there. You know, I mean, I know it doesn't have any effect on the MVP, and a guy that hits 45 homers and has 10 wins probably should win MVP technically.
Yeah, on a team that doesn't include the Mike Trout.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, to answer the question, his cards have definitely slowed. They've definitely gone down.
Yeah,
we sold a bunch of like the bigger stuff back when they were hot.
A bunch.
All the Topps Chrome, all the update, all the. I mean, we've got some $15 Diamond King stuff left, but all the big cards are gone. They've definitely gone down.
We had it out on the showroom floor, we had it out on the floor, and it was perfect timing.
Yeah,
it was perfect timing. You're like, maybe we should put this on eBay. It was like what 150 cards, something like that, rookie cards,
150 rookies,
and they just flew.
I mean, it was in a showcase, and it was like in 6 stacks in the showcase.
Yeah,
and they weren't necessarily visible, but like people saw them and looked at them and didn't buy them. And I'm thinking to myself, why are these not? These should be gone.
Yeah,
you know, I took them to a show and didn't sell one.
Yeah,
and then we list them on eBay, and 100 of them are gone in like 2 weeks.
Gone.
Yeah,
at asking price. Like no offers.
No offers. We did a multiple listing or variation listing on it and priced it ourselves and priced it for more than they were going for.
No discounts.
Yeah, you could tell the nights that he pitched because you'd sell 2 or 3 or 4 of them that night and only 1 or 2 the other days. I mean, one guy bought like 15 of them. You know, I sold all like 30 Bowman to one guy.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it just kind of shows you the power of eBay. Even a little shop like ours, if we're lucky, if we have 20 people through here in a day, 30 people on a Saturday, you can't get nearly as many eyeballs as eBay does. You know, it's just, if you buy it from me here, you're going to get eBay minus fees at the minimum.
Yeah, at least.
You know, but still, there's not, if we've got 150 rookies of a guy and everybody buys one, it's still going to take us a week to get rid of everything.
At least.
Yeah. That's if everybody that comes through buys one.
Yeah.
So, and you know that's not going to happen.
No. eBay's a huge outlet. Like, how would we could not do this without eBay.
No.
We couldn't do this.
It's a cash flow issue.
Yeah.
And it's revenue streams. I mean, not to get too technical on business side of it, but you got to have, I mean, I know I'm buying cards and selling cards. It seems like there's one stream, but there's at least 5. I mean, you can come in and talk to me about it if you want to, but there's at least 5 to 6 to 7 streams.
Yeah.
That every single card we buy has a home.
Our success is dependent on how we leverage our revenue streams.
That sounds more important than I can even figure out.
I should have a monocle when I say that. I should have a monocle for saying that. Bryce Harper, another guy having a great year. Woo! His cards have gone up a little. He's missed 15 games also. I agree, Theodore. I only wish more people would have bought Bryce Harper when I recommended him back in November.
I have to give you some props.
Why?
It was 3:00 in the morning, one of the nights you were gone.
Yeah.
The video was rolling, and I went to a video of yours, 3 cards I'm buying now. And it was Brett Favre.
Yeah.
It was, gosh, what was the second one?
Ray Allen.
That was the third one.
Was the third one.
Gosh, number 2 was Griffey Chrome stuff.
Griffey Chrome.
All that stuff.
I forgot I made
all that stuff is double.
Has it?
Brett Favre scores are $400 now.
Nice.
When you did the video, it was $125.
They're $400 now. Yeah. I knew I should have bought more of those. Dang it! I don't listen to my own advice.
Not enough, apparently.
The Ray Allen stuff hasn't doubled.
It's gone up in value. Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah, because I looked into it too.
I've got some Ray Allen stuff.
Ray Allen stuff, especially like higher end chromes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone up 50% since you made that video.
The Griffey stuff has went up a lot.
Yeah.
All the chrome 90s chrome and chrome refractor stuff has gone up a lot.
Yeah, but you put in the like pop report levels and this. I mean, you put in the work and it paid off. I mean, if somebody put in $1,000 and and bought stuff that you told him to buy is worth $3,000 now.
Yeah.
You know, not even, I think it was 6 months ago.
I joke about it, but I put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Too much work.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
To like keep up on that stuff and like really dig down into kind of a hunch, really. I mean, it pays off because every time I come across a Griffey refractor, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, I know about what it's worth or whatever, or, you know, it pays off, but still, like, I couldn't make those videos in this environment because the market's not where it was. I mean, I could if I just felt really strong about something, but even if I could, those videos are a lot of work. I'm kind of glad I don't have time to make those videos anymore.
I mean, 91 score Brett Favre is in depth. I mean, that's like fourth level in depth, you know. I mean, it's a really, 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 it's a really, really smart take because there's not any. You assume 91 score, I can buy him for $2. Who gives a crap? Yeah. But there's whatever you said, like 120 tens. I mean, that's ridiculously low.
Yeah.
And for that card to be 125 when you talked about it, now it's 400 6 months later. Like you said in the video, this guy's already in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Like, all it takes is for someone to realize how rare that card is, really.
And I didn't say it in the video, but none of those, well, I mean, there might have been some that have come back from PSA, but 0 have been submitted.
Yeah, it's the pop report's the pop report.
Yeah.
On those $2 cards, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think I still got a Brett Favre PSA 9 upper deck back here.
It's for sale.
It's for sale. $100.
Everybody check out Juan Soto's stats and tell me who's the MVP of the National League.
Oh, yeah, baby. 91 upper deck Brett Favre PSA 9. I think I was buying those for like $10. I don't know. It was cheap.
Yeah.
20, I think. It was 20. I don't know. It was cheap.
There you go.
Thanks. I'm glad you
look them up.
Glad you
take
appreciated
more
it.
of your advice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad. I don't give advice anymore, so I just try to make jokes on podcasts. But that is like, it's supply and demand. Like that's where all my takes came from. That's the basis of all of them. Like my first YouTube video was no one should be buying Luka Doncic rookie cards right now because there's 16,000 of them.
Yeah. Like
popularity drops off and supply catches up with demand. That's economics. I mean, I got a lot of hate for that video.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of followers too.
Yeah.
It was all right.
That's a hot take.
It was a
definition of a hot take.
In November, the beginning of November, that was a hot take. People did not want to hear that.
Yeah.
People did not
Most people had bought one because there's 15,000 of them out there.
Jeff bought 10.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I probably overthink a lot of that stuff, but I'm a lot more confident about how we do business. How I've kind of learned from Mike or I've had a lot of reinforcement about turnover and I'm a lot more confident about trying to get stuff sold before it has an opportunity to go down as opposed to waiting for stuff to go up.
Yeah, it's all I mean, it's a guess. It's an educated guess, but it's a guess.
Yeah. And
when you're doing it for a living, and your next meal, depends on, you don't want your next meal to depend on if you're right or not.
Not on Luka Doncic.
No. He's a great freaking player, too.
He's awesome.
Like, you could be right on how good he is and be wrong on his cards. That's the problem.
All day long.
Yeah. If the situation's not right, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stuff should be freaking to the moon. Like, it should be twice what it's worth right now.
Yeah.
And it's because he's in Canada. It's because he doesn't speak English as a first language.
Yep, that's
all this stuff, that riles into being a superstar. Mm-hmm. He's the kid of a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to be the first Hall of Famer that's the son of a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hopefully 30 years from now, 25 years from now. But you could be right on how talented a guy is and still be wrong about his cards, for sure.
Yeah.
So you don't want to take all that risk. I mean, it's fun if it's your hobby and you go to a card shop and say, here's 3 guys I'm buying and I just can't wait till they go up. Like, it's like a fantasy team mentality. Like I watch the LA Rams because I got Stafford and Cup on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch them if I didn't have them on my fantasy team. It's kind of like, the Astros. The guy said he likes Kyle Tucker. He's probably bought some Kyle Tucker cards and makes him watch Astros games. I mean, if that's what you're doing it for, then by all means, prospect.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to make money, you got to take the risk out of it. Taking the
You're
risk out of it is buying it low, selling it immediately for more money.
It's completely contrary to what a lot of people feel or believe, which is that in order to make money, you have to take on risk.
Yeah.
But in this business, in order to make money over the long term, and really sustainably, in order to make money, you have to take the risk out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to buy stuff for less than you can sell it for and sell it before it has a chance to go down.
The easiest way for me, the easiest way in 20 years of doing this is buy in bulk, and you do that. The reason you do that is you take headaches off of other people's, but those go somewhere. So the second part of that is you have to be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And either sorting or listing or
just
all
storage.
Together or store it or I mean, how many we sold 65 2021 Series 1 sets just by people bringing in commons they want to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So we've taken headaches from people, and if you ask Acacia, we've taken those headaches and handed them to her.
Definitely. But
we've done, at $20 a piece, we've turned zero or minimal into $1,300 in sales.
Yeah.
And with zero risk.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we're going to do that.
Yeah.
So that's the lines are still there for the cards, but anybody could do that. I mean, if you go to a card show and say, hey, will you take $3, $5 for this row of 2021 Topps cards? Anybody could do that.
Yeah.
It's just, you got to be willing to do whatever other people don't want to do to make a living. I mean, unless you got direct accounts, then it's just...
then you're just printing money, I guess. But
congrats to those that have them.
I had a video that I made, and it was called The Most Important Lesson About Sports Cards. And it's not really about sports cards. It's about compounding gain, compounding interest. And the way that I impressed upon people the power of compounding interest was, if you take $10 right now and you can turn it over at 20% every week for a year, 52 times, if you can turn it over at 20%, turn $10 into $12, $12 into $14.20, $14.20 into, whatever, six, or not. Yeah. Anyways, you turn over 20%, 52 times, it ends up being $113,000. $10 if you can just get 20% out of it every week for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's hard to do. I mean, it's hard to do, but that's my mentality, is I need to move this stuff. Like, even if I take a small loss on something, if I can move it and have that money available to invest in something else, I'm better off. Because the quicker, it's just like a shoe store. Like, shoe stores run on turnover. You have the shelf space to display $100,000 worth of product. It doesn't, if you make 10% on that $100,000 worth of product, but you turn it over 3 times in a year, that's way better than making 25% and only turn it over once.
Mm-hmm.
It's It's
a lot of work. It's a lot of work to turn it over 3 times, though.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And people don't want to do it. I mean, I understand. I mean, a lot of the people that come in here that sell me this stuff, you know, when it's, you know, you can make some excuses for anybody that comes in. Like if it's a kid, they want to, you know, go out with their friends or whatever. If it's a, you know, if it's a guy with a baby and a wife, and then, you know, need to spend time with their kids. It's a lot of the hustlers, you know, I use that term respectively because I considered myself one at the time, are the 22 to 28-year-old guys, single, money, you know, good jobs or zero responsibility basically, and they're out there hustling, man. I mean, we buy a lot of stuff from guys that age that are out hustling, and the guys right now with that amount of work, if you're putting the work in, you can make changing. You wouldn't have to work for anybody else the rest of your life. I mean, you in the market that we're at right now, if you've done it over the last year and a half, yeah, I mean, there's so much opportunity out there because it's, you know, they're making it available to everybody. I mean, they're making another part of the line that's blurred. Like I'm paying more for wax than people can buy it for at Walmart.
Yeah.
You know, or Target or Shields or wherever it is, you know, Barnes and Noble. Like, and we can both make money, you know. They learn the value of relationships in business. You know, you don't necessarily always sell it to the guy that pays you the most money.
Right.
Not necessarily. You know, but you sell it to the guy that's going to buy every product every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be much further down the road. You're going to be much better off building that relationship.
How many people have you come in here in the last, it's really only been going on for the last 2 months. Really after Select Basketball came out. But how many people came in here with product that you couldn't really buy at retail prices and you bought it anyways? You paid them, you basically
selling
paid them paid them what they paid for it.
Yeah.
Like just to help,
but it's
help
because
them get out of it.
It's because they come in every week and sell me stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like I can, you know, I can help you on this one. We both made money last week. I can help you on this one. You know, there was a lady that came in Saturday of last week, and she bought 6 or 7 Topps Chrome Megas, and she got up at checkout, and they're $64 or $65 with tax. And she bought them, and her son goes, "No, we don't really want those." And she tried to take them back, and Walmart wouldn't take them back. And I bought them out, and I bought her out of it. You know, like she may never be back. That was the first time we've dealt, and I'm gonna make $5-6. I may break even if somebody buys it with a credit card.
Yeah,
but when she has extra, when she tells her friends that, I mean, those are small circles.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I've got a lot of business of, you know, take it to Mike, he pays the most. Take it to Mike, he'll buy everything. Take it to Mike. It's just a business philosophy. Like, I don't need to make every penny on every deal.
Right.
Like, the way you treat people, the way, like the lady that is selling her dad's collection, but it's too big. I mean, if I didn't treat her right the first time, she's not coming back the second time, you know? So it's just a business philosophy that, like, I'm in this, like, I've been doing it 20 years. Like, I'm not going out and building roads tomorrow.
We're not going anywhere. Imply at Amazon tomorrow?
Yeah, right. Like I'd break down in 10 minutes trying to do a real job, you know? Like, I'm not going anywhere, so my only look is long term. Like,
that's the curse of it, and it's
long term in this business is like 2 years now, though.
It is.
You know, like, who knows?
The curse of it for me is that, you know, I started treating this as a way to make money, say 3 years ago. When I made the YouTube channel is when I realized, oh, I could put in a lot more than just part-time into this and still want to do it every day.
Yeah.
And then when I came to work here, it's like, oh, fuck. Oh, excuse me. But like, oh, crap. Like, I could put 80 hours a week into this and still be happy.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. But it also means I can't do anything else anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm stuck here.
Yeah.
Like, I got to find a way of making a living doing this because I'm not going to be happy doing anything else.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
I mean, once you look at it like, gosh, I found what I'm happy at doing. Now I got to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, now
I found the love of my life. How do I make it work?
It's not a bad problem to have.
I'm not checking my phone, guys. I'm reading the comments. I can't read them over there.
Here, I can break
my eyesight's really bad. Is the Mahomes rated rookie auto still in the shop? No, sir, Derek. That we have sold that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
that stuff.
It doesn't take very long.
Yeah, it goes here. I mean, we're in Kansas City, which you probably are too, but
yeah,
it
Derek's
just doesn't.
Derek's a good guy. He comes in all the time.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
customer base is different.
They've been around for more than a year.
There's
or half or whatever.
There's probably shops in Kansas City that can't sell Patrick Mahomes cards, but that's not a problem here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I thought I'd go through the comments.
Sure. There was lots of snap tights, Teddy. Lots of snap tights.
We just throw them away.
Yeah.
We just take them off and throw them away.
Yeah.
That way no one else, they can't pollute anyone else.
Right.
Did Derek send you a picture of card on Messenger?
Not that I've seen yet. I'll check it though. UFC 2009 round 1 tops. That's the play, huh?
I don't know about 2009. I do like UFC, and it's contradictory to what I would say about a lot of stuff. This is what I like about UFC, is that it's similar. I feel like it's similar to Bowman. So if you can buy a bunch of it cheap, within reasonably modern, within stuff that's come out in the last 3 years.
Fighting.
2019 Topps Chrome UFC. It doesn't have to be Dustin Poirier. It doesn't have to be Nurmagomedov. Let them take the cream off the top, but hold it for the next 5 years, and there'll be 8 people that come out of there, that are champions or that are hot. And the other thing is, just like you were saying, like, oh, list that Conor McGregor because it's $5 now, but tomorrow during the fight it'll be 20. They'll be selling for 20. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Again, highly emotionally driven during the event and stuff. So I'd even thought about like checking out the UFC schedule and getting ahead of it and buying up people that were on the cards.
Yeah, because don't you know months in advance sometimes?
On the fight cards. Yeah, months in advance. And sure, you take the risk of somebody dropping out of a fight, or, you got to buy both guys. But really, you buy both guys, you sell them before the fight even starts.
Yeah.
You sell them that weekend, but you sell the cards before the fight even starts. Because, and I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I wouldn't go out and pay anything for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'd for sure look for like stuff cheap. Whether it's a new guy coming into a championship match that's 6 months away, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of work running a shop or setting up at a show. It is. I mean,
work's a relative term.
Yeah, it's hours.
Yeah.
I think anybody that finds something that they can run as a business without having to be, while being self-motivated to do it, they can put the work in, the effort in, on their own, will be successful at it. It's not the work's, the work's not.
The hard part is replacing your income.
Yeah.
like if you're making six figures, it's hard to make six figures in cards without knowing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
So replace. I mean, it's where it depends on where you're at in life.
Yeah. And cash flow.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and I'm going through this right now where it's like I need to be building inventory. So I need to be buying inventory. But, you also have to have stuff selling and you have to pay bills. So having enough money coming in to pay the bills and also reinvest back into what you're selling to replace what you're selling and add to inventory it's
difficult.
Yeah. That's where the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
That's where that takes effect.
Yeah, Mr. Mint, that's exactly what he did. He would set up at the front of the show, be the first person to see it, buy it, walk 2 aisles back and sell it to some other dealers for more than he paid. Like, he left meat on the bone, but he would buy it up front, sell it 2 rows back, and go and do it again, and never take anything home, really.
What?
Yeah, Mr. Mint. You have to look him up. He passed away a few years ago, but Al Rosen was his name. But so at the national, I would say he was the most famous card dealer ever. So and they named him Mr. Mint. He ran into several deals. I mean, you'd have to Google him or whatever, or YouTube him. But he ran into several deals, 52 manual stuff, like vintage, like T206 stuff. But at the end, or I shouldn't say at the end, like when I got to know him, he would set up with a table, and you walk down the ramp, and his table was right there at the first show. Like, it was like a celebrity type thing. It was like an honor to sell to him.
Oh, I got you.
So, like, I sold my cards to Mr. Mintz.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Rob Veras thing now. Like,
yeah.
I sold my stuff to Rob Veras. He's, Burbank's 4-card. Burbank. Yeah. So but what he would do is he would fly in with no cards. He would have a showcase, and it would just be $100 bills laid out. And he would just buy stuff and then take it back to other dealers and make his 10, 15, 20%, whatever it was on that deal. Take it to another deal, leave them 10, 15, 20%, whatever it was. But he would go with no cards and leave with no cards and make whatever he made that weekend. And that's how he did it. He never took anything home.
It's friggin' genius.
Yeah, if you can do it.
Just go to a show with a stack of cash.
That's all he did.
That's friggin' genius.
At least as long as I knew him, and that was... I mean, the only time I really saw him was up in Chicago, or...
He's probably paying 50%, though, right?
I don't know, probably.
And selling it to the other guys at 65,
70, whatever,
70.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, but before... I mean, it wasn't out of the realm to pay 50%.
No.
You buy a $10,000 deal for $5,000 and go flip it for $6,500.
Yeah.
And you have the cards 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You do that 10 times a weekend or 20 times a weekend, or
the guy's
that's what he did.
Guy's got to pay for his plane ticket.
Yeah.
I get it.
Or the $1 million he's got displayed in the showcases. That too.
Oh, do you have stacks of hundreds in the showcases?
Yeah, Mr. Mint.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You'll have to Google him.
I'll Google him. I'm such a noob.
It was a big deal when he passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah. Why does everyone check comps on eBay? What about sales on Facebook, OfferUp, etc.? I mean, there's not a really good way to check sales for Facebook or OfferUp, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that I know of.
When people come in and they ask me how do you price your cards, and it's always eBay completed items. It's always, I mean, that's what the card is worth to multiple people that saw the card, and it's the easiest way to, I mean, it's the only way that I know of to check sold cards. I mean,
and that's the thing is, like, it's not a bias selling platform. It's it's economics, it's supply and demand. It's the more supply you get on that platform, and the more sales that you get, the more eyes that see it. As long as it's like transparent, they can look on there and see, the cards. Like, that's where all the transactions are going down. That's where you're going to get the most relevant pricing info.
That's part of it's also the thing that we talked about, where the lines have never been closer, because the line between wholesale and retail has never been closer. It's almost exactly the same now.
Yeah.
Like, if you price a card over eBay comps, it's going to sit there.
Yeah.
And very rare, like almost now to the point where if you sell a card for over eBay comps, you feel like in that little voice in your stomach's like, did I just take advantage of that guy? The last comp went for $125 and I just got $150 for it. It's like an auction, a 7-day auction is not necessarily what the price of a card should be.
No.
But that's what the price of the card is now.
Well, so how is any card going to go up?
I mean, the card has to get hot. The guy has to get hot. You know? It has to. I mean, the way any card would go, the guy has to get hot.
So he just got hot. The guy just got hot.
Well, supply and demand, yeah.
I mean,
there's different. You have to learn how to read comps for sure.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like some of this stuff I was looking up.
Yeah.
There was auctions for $23 and there was buy it nows for $50.
Yeah.
But it was one bid, buy it now.
Yeah.
That was a retail price and the 27 was a wholesale price.
Yeah.
But
if you're dealing with something that has
a pop of 200 or whatever that gets one sale a month, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You just have to be, when you're buying stuff, you just have to be like, if you can pay, I can pay 100% of comps if you let me take the lowest comp of each guy. You know what I mean? You have to decide. The hard part's deciding what the comp is, not what you're going to pay on it. Because once you realize, if there's one sale for $100, people will realize you're not going to pay $90 for it. I mean, most people realize, I would, even if I sold it there, I'd get $85 of it or $87 of it.
Yeah.
So, I need to make money. I'm going to pay 65 or try to get you to 60, you know. But if you have a comp of 50 and you have a comp of 27, if you cut it down the middle, then I'm paying low comps and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I say I paid 70%, it still has to be the right comps. I mean, you still have to be able to comp it right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not 70% of the comps for select basketball from 2 months ago.
Right. When it first came out, and LaMelos are $40.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still definitely an art form to comping cards.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people on YouTube would say the average of the last 5 sold comps. I think that's pretty close. The average of the last 5 sold comps. That's not the end all be all.
No.
That's not where it ends. But it's kind of a good baseline rule.
Yeah.
But again, if it's the average of the last 5 sold comps on a product that came out last week, no, I'm not. We're not going for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to comp it at about 20% less than the last one sold for.
If you did
or the lowest.
If you did the last 5 comps on last Friday of Trevor Lawrence's rated rookie, that started off at $80.
Yeah.
And now it's down to 25.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of that one video that we saw, that it's like LaMelo's select rookie was on the 5 least hottest cards out there.
Yeah, LaMelo's select
the
rookie.
amount of dip that it took. And it was not explained. There was no teach. There was nothing taught there.
Okay, how can you justify that?
You can't.
No one in your organization, it has to be an organization where no one who in the process of approving that saw any problem with it. That's the problem, is that, you're
The influencers don't.
You're trying to, and this is sports card investor Jeff Wilson. I don't know Jeff as a person, but the channel is very misleading because, and I think maybe not intentionally, but you're trying to create a colorful way to promote your product. So showing a graph of LaMelo Ball going down is a powerful image.
Yeah.
You know? But to not explain, oh, this has nothing to do with any factor.
It's a 7-day turn. So it's the week after release compared to 2 weeks after release.
Yeah.
Every card has gone down.
Every the entire basketball market has crashed.
If you compare this to other select cards, yeah.
But I mean, and that's
but it's done. But there's no nuance to it. In the fact, I mean, it brings me back to when my brother tried to get into cards in 2016. Like, we collected when we were kids.
Yeah.
He went to high school. You know, got into cars, got into girls, got into, you know, played college football a little bit. And I just kept going with cards. You know, I went to school and stuff, but kept going with cards. So he comes back around in 2016. He's like, I really like this class and I'm going to buy some cards. And he's trying to learn, you know, he's just trying to figure out, you know, it's a lot different than when we were kids. Even then it was a lot different. And he's looking at me and he's like, this National Treasures, how come the one numbered to 99 is worth more than the one numbered to 49? Like, what is that? He's trying to put logic, you know, he's like, why? I don't understand Contenders. Like, why is Contenders just a base autograph that's not numbered? Why is that worth more than, you know, this amazing 4-color patch out of Phoenix?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, well, this is why, you know, Contenders was the first, you know, it had Peyton Manning or Randy Moss autos. It was the first autos. It has Tom Brady's best auto, you know. The one number to 49 is the true rookie. The one number to 49 is a parallel. You know, you have to start getting down to 25 and 10 for it to be worth as much or more as the true rookie. You know, you explain all this stuff to him, and my point is, if you just apply logic to this business, you've lost every piece of nuance. Like, if you just follow charts, if you just do ratios, then you've lost every piece of nuance of the shop that anybody else that's been in it for 10 years can give you.
Here's the big problem. Jeff Wilson is at the Panini Industry Summit. How many guys that are on the board for the National Card Convention do you think are at the Panini National Industry or the Panini Industry Summit?
Yeah, I mean, I know not very many, not enough. I mean, I know what you're saying,
and that's why, like, I've been more vocal about it lately. And somebody came in the comments last week, which I've been more vocal because you tricked me into it. But I think it's important because somebody came in the comments last week and is like, you know, this isn't a good look. You shouldn't be like, what good does it do you trashing on somebody? And I'm like, I'm not really trashing on him. He's trashing on himself. I'm just calling him out on it. Like the problem is that there's people that have spent their whole lives, 40, 50, 60 years of their lives in this industry that aren't being consulted about what happens in this industry. But you got Jeff Wilson that's spent 2 years running a YouTube channel, knows very little about cards, and he's at the Panini Industry Summit. That's the problem. It's the friggin' Pied Piper of sports cards. It's the blind leading the blind, and it's terrible for the hobby. It's gonna piss a lot of people off when they realize they've been duped, you know, or given bad advice, or just, like, you know, talked into buying a $50 app that they don't need and that doesn't help them, you know. I mean, it was easy to sell that and justify it last year when everything was going up. It's like, I got this app and I've made $1,000 in the last 2 weeks. It's like, it wasn't, you know,
he's the shop at home guy for the 21st century.
Well, I mean, it's just, you know, if you gain some value, it just people don't understand how wrong a lot of content creators are. I'm not saying we're right about everything, but I'm saying people don't realize how wrong, how completely wrong a lot of content creators are, or
that's the problem though, when you get an industry that's as hot as it is now, to get all these new people in, and the people that have experience, there's very, very, very few people that have 10 years of experience and have a YouTube channel.
Right.
Like, those two worlds just don't mix very often. Like, a YouTube channel that people watch, an influence. Like, I mean, Sasha's one of the smartest card guys I know, but he's still learning. He'll be the first one to tell you he's still learning.
Sure.
Someone like Ryan at Card Collector 2 is trying to put out entertainment content at the same time as teaching. But that's a process. And watching that stuff. But there's guys that are just here, and that's because it's the hottest thing out there.
And that's why Jeff's the only person I'm talking about. It's not because he's the biggest channel. It's because 6-9 months ago, everybody's making hot card videos, picks videos, stuff like that. Once the market started to correct and they felt uncomfortable, they backed 95% of creators backed off of that.
Now they're making behind the scenes, we're at a card show, or
wax hunting, or
trade nights, or
whatever.
Yeah. Stuff you can learn by just watching.
Yeah. And there's a reason, because it's irresponsible to make those type of videos in this market. But Jeff's continued making them, and he's throwing a chart up about a select LaMelo Ball that's 2 weeks old that's gone down 50%. Well, duh. I mean, come on. Like, you've been doing this for 2 years. You've had a YouTube channel for 2 years.
Well, nothing's went down since he's been
Exactly. Like, what is this? Those charts aren't supposed to act that way. But anyways,
we didn't know it went down.
Anyways, I mean, it's not really what I want to talk about, but I think it's important to say. I think it's important somebody says it.
Yeah.
So might as well be me.
Allegedly.
Indubitably.
We'll just keep buying my 1974 Topps Danny Thompson PSA 9s.
They're awesome.
Make a living doing that.
Please do. And if you get a chance,
centering on the back.
If you get a chance, no, I'm not gonna throw that out there. I'm not.
Probably smart.
Yeah. So anyways,
you already demonetized this once. Do it again.
I know, right? Golly, what's wrong with me? Oh, there's more comments. Look at this.
Here we go. Oh, what do we miss? Everything?
I'm not gonna show that, but
I didn't read it.
That one. There's a bunch of Mr. Mint stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, our chat wasn't moving.
Unorganized case. Pay top dollar for vintage and numbered stuff, and bought nothing after 1972.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. World Cup soccer's coming next year. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm still buying soccer stuff. I'm still holding soccer stuff. A lot of this stuff is just because it's so cheap, and like, I'm not buying a Kevin De Bruyne rookie for $5 and selling it for $5 or even $10. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, even to just make my turnover.
I actually put a soccer card in the. I don't have very many not sell cards, but I actually put one in there.
You did?
Yeah.
Is it a Mbappe?
Holland PSA 9 sticker rookie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep. I don't. Those stickers are different, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like the stickers are kind of like the heritage for me. And
Yeah.
I get the same feeling because that's where Panini started that everything. So it's like the stickers are the heritage.
Yeah.
For me.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And a 9's like a 10 on a card.
Yeah.
On a 9 on a sticker. Yep. I mean, they're that hard to get.
I just bought a Jude Bellingham auto this week. Probably, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I mean, it's clean. So it's a Topps Chrome. I mean, the kid, I mean, I don't, my only issue with it is that it's a pure money thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't enjoy watching the games. I don't know how to scout the players.
I don't either.
It's a buy and hold and hope it goes up because it's just when you've been in it long enough, you just get this feeling of an underwave of popularity that's about to hit. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's not really, you don't even have to be in it that long. Like all the kids play soccer, you know, so the guys that used to play baseball or the guys that used to play basketball, they're playing soccer now. So they want to see, you know, and it's on the it's on the international level for us. I mean, I didn't even understand how it worked, but like the MLS, the champion plays in the champions, you know, they don't play in the Champions League over there, the UEFA League, but like one time the Kansas City won, or whatever, Sporting KC won the champions. They were in some tournament that they could have beat Chelsea or they could have beat Man U.
Really?
It was like MLS is like the 14th ranked league in the world.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Or something like that. It's like, I didn't know they were even in the same level.
I didn't know there was a tournament where MLS played European.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even know what it's called. The Gold Cup, or maybe, I don't remember. I mean,
that's pretty cool, though.
I'm a freaking newbie. But they had to beat, like the Mexican League or the South American League, or, you know, they had to beat those teams. But then there was a championship. I don't know. But they could have played Man U or PSG or, you know, Juventus or whoever. They could have played those teams if they won enough games.
If we put all of the best American players on one team?
No, that's called the World Cup. We never win.
Yeah,
we don't even qualify.
Yeah, but against Man U.
Oh, okay, maybe, yeah.
like that's not really fair that we have to take one of our 20 or 30 MLS teams. It doesn't matter if we have 10 times the population.
Yeah, all our athletes are playing basketball.
That's right. That's right.
What's up, Michael? Jeff Geoff is the Kardashian sports card rule.
Oh, that's not
nice, man. That's not nice.
He's not wrong, though.
Yeah, that's not nice. I'm not saying he's wrong. It's just not nice. Tips on how to get into soccer. Never seem to find any retail. Yeah, it's the same with everybody. Like, there's no retail to be found, really. I mean, I'll tell you what I've done, and I don't know if it's the right way or not, but you just buy a bunch of it and sit on it and try to keep track of who's getting hot and who's not. That's all I know to do.
Hey, Michael, thanks for being here. Appreciate you joining in. I hope you can gain some form of entertainment or something from this. We do these pretty much every Tuesday, and our Facebook and eBay store is linked down in the description. If you want to check those out, you can, but glad you're here. Just the weatherman going over the weather from 2 weeks ago. That's what
charts are. Yeah.
That's what a chart is.
Yeah.
It's a history lesson.
Exactly.
Yeah. It shows you nothing about the trend lines are what is just so stupid to me. I just can't get over it. A trend line means nothing. It means nothing.
No.
It's just telling you what has happened. You can't make an investment decision based on a trend line.
Bobby Witt better start out next year. Yeah. The Royals, I saw this. The Royals had 4 of the top 5 home run hitters in all of minor league baseball this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like that's impossible.
We haven't really talked about that much, but minor league baseball is a pretty big environment.
Yeah.
Like all of minor league baseball, like A, AA, AAA.
Yep.
Rookie ball is like.
Yeah, the number 2 guy was a Marlins guy from rookie ball, basically A plus ball. but the rest of them were Royals that ended up in Omaha and AAA.
They were all in Omaha?
At the end of the year, yeah.
So those sets have all 4 of those guys.
I don't think they have McBroom in them.
Okay.
But maybe they might, maybe. But they definitely have Witt. Melendez was first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy...
Prado?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the Marlins guy's name. For some reason, it's skipping my mind. But Prado, Witt, and McBroom were all like 31, 32. And MJ Melendez was like 38. And that other guy was like 35-ish.
He hit that many home runs.
Yeah.
Witt had a really slow start.
Our catchers had 83 homers so far this year.
I know. That's amazing.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
The future looks bright for the backstop in Kansas City. But yeah, I'm glad. I was really glad to see Bobby Witt get his feet underneath him. Because he didn't start off too great in the minors this year.
No.
So,
well, there's that. I think there's that, and I think it's real. Like sometimes we forget that these guys are people.
Yeah.
And he crushed it in spring training. Like crushed it. So you get this idea that I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be a Major League Baseball player. It's my turn. It's my time. And then you get sit down to where you're riding buses, and you're not. There's not meals laid out for you after the game, and you know what I mean. Like
you're not paid a living wage,
right? Exactly. So there's that 2 weeks where he was probably pouting, you know. And if you asked him about it now, maybe he'd be a little more honest about it. But after that, it was over.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think there was ever a time where they led him to believe that he could make the majors out of spring training? Do you think that
the Royals are so slow?
Yeah.
Whit Merrifield didn't come up till he was 27. Like, he should have been on the World Series teams.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a valuable piece, and he could have been. Like, we may not have needed to trade for Ben Zobrist because we had Ben Zobrist in our system.
Yeah.
But the Royals are so slow to call those guys up. And that's the reason we have the 3 top guys. Like, Wander Franco would have hit more homers than our guys, but guess what? He's been called up.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost not a good thing that we've got 4 of the top 5. It's almost not a good thing.
I mean, you would think. I mean, you're not trading Salvi.
No.
But there's a world where he moves to first base.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Or DH full-time.
Yeah. But, you would think, if they're capable of playing the positions.
The part that I love, I had more fun. I'm a baseball guy. It was more important to me that the Royals won the World Series than the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To me, personally.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
Both, I mean, it was 100% to 95%, but it was more, I had more fun on the Royals run than I did watching 3 games in January for the Chiefs.
I agree.
So,
same boat.
I'm a Royals guy.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't play, like, they surprise themselves with that run. Like, they don't play to win right now all the time like they should. Like they're doing it the way that it looks like it should be. Like, you bring those pitchers up, get those pitchers ready. The hitters come along faster than the pitching. I mean, we've got some nice pieces. The rotation is going to be fun to watch next year.
Yeah. I
mean, Brady Singer, he needs to develop another pitch and stuff like that. I mean, I can get really in depth in this stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, a rotation of Bubich, who probably pitched the best this year.
Yeah.
Singer.
Yeah.
Coar. Coar's still got nasty stuff. Daniel Lynch still has nasty stuff. I mean, those guys, the bullpen needs some work, but Barlow's still good. Bryce Brent's was still.
Carlos Hernandez
could be a superstar. More to come. There's enough of that pitching there but they don't even know what they're gonna do with the other. Like, they got Mondesi at third to see. Like, stick the guy in center field.
Yeah.
Teach him how to play. Like, right now, let's get him 30 games in center field.
Yeah.
In the major leagues.
Yeah.
And see what he can do out there.
After being a Royals fan for 32 years, 30 of which we didn't make the playoffs, and then seeing the Royals not change anything about how they manage their system, because they've always made money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, they've always made money, but to bring up a team and go to the World Series and win the World Series, like, that was so satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, way more satisfying than had they went out and bought a bunch of pieces,
sure,
to make that happen. Yeah. And
but
hopefully that's what we'll see.
The positive, their whatever that saying is, their biggest strength is the biggest weakness, because their loyalty to Moustakas, their loyalty to Hosmer and to Kane is the reason why we're in 2021 and not competing.
Yeah,
like those, like, we just let them go.
Yeah,
like the system needed to be rebuilt if they were going to leave, but the reason Moustakas and Hosmer, they didn't have. I mean, Moose got sent down in 2014. You know, like he was not having a all-star type, and they brought him back up. He's got a swing. The guy I forget who they brought up, but he got hurt, so they almost had to bring him up. But he got sent down in 14, and then him and Hosmer carried us through the Angel series, through the Orioles series. I mean, every night one of them was hitting a home run. You know, a big home run. So that loyalty is also costing them now. And the loyalty will get you so far, but we needed to trade them in 16. Like, that one day of them walking off the field together was great.
Yeah.
But we've paid for it for 5 years now.
Yeah.
Like, we needed prospects. We needed to replenish the system.
Yeah.
That loyalty is good now.
Yeah.
Like, we're throwing Singer out there every fifth day.
Yeah.
You know, Coart and, you know, all these guys, we're throwing them out there when they're failing every other start. Witt, you know, he didn't have a start to his career like he should, you know, he didn't play at all, as whatever. But Nick Prado, the guy hit 161 for a complete season. Like, a lot of teams would have just given up on him.
Yeah.
So that guy's hit 30 home runs this year in the, you know. So the loyalty is good to a point, and it's good on this ride up. So it's also, when we win again, it's going to be 10 years again before we're, you know, it's like a ride, and then, I mean, we're not the Oakland A's or the Minnesota Twins or.
What would you rather, though? So that's a question for everybody. Like, would you rather have a team that is more cutthroat but more competitive?
Going through it, like, from 2010 to 2021, I would take the championship over anything.
Yeah.
But I also would like to watch baseball in June that meant something.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Again.
That would be fun.
We had 3 years of it.
Right.
We had 13, 14, 15, 16 was kind of, but I mean, we missed the playoffs by a couple of games, but it was over.
And you know way more about this than I do. I just, like, yeah, it'd be nice to have a competitive team. It'd be really nice. Do you think it's more, like I was talking about, like, the Royals were always known for, like, being a profitable franchise, whether they won or not. Do you think there's still that mentality even after? No,
the new owner is different.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way the Glass family gives Salvi a 4-year, $84 million extension.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
They're the ones that screwed him on the first deal.
Yeah.
You give a guy an 8-year, $24 million deal. I mean,
took advantage of his loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his spot in the world where, I mean, he used that. I mean, from everything I've read, he used that money to get his family out of Venezuela.
Yeah.
You know, and he had to give up 8 years of his life, you know, or at least 3 years of free agency.
And I mean, $3 million a year is not a bad salary.
It is when you're a 6-time All-Star.
When you're a 6-time All-Star, it's pretty bad. Like, it should have been four or 5 times that, even for a catcher.
So, yeah, I mean,
we're going down a whole rabbit hole of Royal stuff. That hopefully there's enough people in this chat that are
well,
they're in the area that we haven't just ran.
I think GL Wilson put out a new video today. Check that out. I'm almost sure.
That's why there's not more people in the chat.
Maybe you guys get back Hosmer and Will Myers. Yeah, that's all right. We'll pass.
Yeah, Greinke. I'll take Greinke any day.
You know, Harper's 2 years younger than Trout, 35 homers shy. Harper gets 0. Yeah. Harper reminds me of LeBron James and the fact that they were both on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 16. Neither one of them has really ever done anything really wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell this people about LeBron James. The worst thing he's ever done is make a free agent decision on television that raised $2 million for the Boys and Girls Club. That's the worst thing he's ever done or ever been caught for. Like, if that's the worst thing you've ever done, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And Harper's the same way. Like people think he's a hothead or whatever. Like, he's very, very competitive. Like, he can be on my team anytime.
Yeah.
Like, Giordano Ventura would throw at people, you know, just because they looked at him wrong. It didn't matter if it was Manny Machado or Steve Trout or Mike Trout. That guy can be on my staff anytime.
Yeah.
You know, that's a young Pedro. So Harper, like, you know, he got in a fight with his teammates, but if you look at, like, Papelbon started that whole thing, that was all Papelbon's fault.
Well, Harper, the stuff Harper got criticized so hard for 8 years ago or 6 years ago is stuff that people do every day now.
Yeah.
You know, if you saw Bryce Harper 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, if he was acting like Fernando Tatis, if he was pimping home runs, like, you know, he did nothing compared to what the everyday star does now. But he got caught, and kind of LeBron is the same way. Like, they both got caught in this overrated, underrated, like, loophole where it's like, you know, everyone that likes them thinks they're underrated, and everyone that doesn't thinks they're overrated. And
Bryce Harper had to be Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
To
LeBron has to have 7-8 championships. Bryce Harper
for everyone to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Yep. And I really like Bryce Harper. I mean, not just because he's underrated. I tend to go for people that are underrated. But I mean, he's getting, it's this whole balancing thing. Like 9 months ago, he was definitely underrated because everyone, if you go into the comments at anything and it's Bryce Harper's overrated, well, if everybody thinks he's overrated, then he's definitely underrated.
Yeah.
You know? Oh gosh. But I tend to like people that are underdogs. Let's put it that way. Underdogs. I don't know that he's underrated. I mean, not right now, but
330 million says he's not underrated.
I think Bryce Harper has managed his time in the league and his criticism and his play very well. Let's put it that way. I've got a lot of Bobby Witt, not rookies. Sell right now before he debuts, or wait till he debuts. I don't want to get caught once his rookie's released next year.
I think the time to sell Bobby Witt is a week before he gets called up.
Yeah.
But the problem is we don't know when that's going to be.
But I would say from a philosophical standpoint that you sell right now, you take that money and you invest it in other things, continue to sell, and then you can buy 3 or 4 times as many Bobby Witts 6 months, 3 months from now during the off season when they're probably cheaper.
Yeah, usually the industry picks 1, 2, 3 guys that, last year it was Soto and Acuna.
Yeah.
That you couldn't buy anything of them. Like it was all going up. And Whit might be one of those guys now because he's going to be. I mean, it's him and Adley Rutschman and Julio Rodriguez. They're going to be in the top 3 probably. I mean, there's somebody I'm probably missing, Torkelson maybe, but
not Jason Dominguez.
No.
I don't think. I didn't see how he ended off his minor.
You don't
league.
want to look.
No.
Yeah.
That bad.
Well, it's so bad. It's like 18 plus can only watch it.
That bad.
It's pretty bad.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the time if you want to sell Bobby Witt. Unless he comes out and hits like 4 home runs in his first week, the time to sell is a week before he makes his debut, which is hard to time. But
yeah.
That could be spring training next year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully the Royals, hopefully out of Prado, Witt, and Melendez, because they're all going to be up next year. They're all in AAA this year. Hopefully, one starts the season, one is 2 weeks into the season, and the other one's a Super 2. Stays till July.
Yeah.
That way, so it'll be 2022. That way, in 2028, 2029, and 2030, they'll be free agents instead of all in 1 year like we lost Hosmer, Moose, Kane.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to spread it out.
Who's their other guy that leads off in at Arkansas or whatever? Julio, somebody?
Well, there's the Omar Oliveros. They called him up. He was down for a while too. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'd have to look. He was playing for Arkansas with Bobby Witt. That's AA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was their leadoff, but I don't know. I was just impressed by what a big guy. Pretty small. But just hit really well.
I need to know.
That's a one game anecdotal reference there.
The game you went to.
The one game I went and watched.
I see.
But hey, he impressed me, and I'm a professional Major League scout, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know the guy's name, allegedly. But division will get flipped in 4 years. Royals and Tigers are going in the right direction. I think the Royals are going in the right direction for sure.
So are the White Sox, though. I mean, that team's pretty freaking good.
But also, from where they were at, they didn't have much choice but to go in the right direction.
I hope it flips because then we'll be in first.
Famous iconic rookie cards are most valuable. Well,
I mean, you can't disagree, right?
No, but that is a take.
The guys that this deal that happened here, the cards that got bought out of it were the iconic rookies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the iconic rookie cards are the ones that are the most valuable, but they're also the ones that are the hardest to get good deals on. So like, if I'm buying a LeBron for $1,000, I in person, I might be able to get that for $900, $800.
Yeah.
But if I'm buying just say, I mean, I don't know, like a 49 Gaudy friggin' Pee Wee Reese or whatever. I mean, that might not even be something that exists in like a PSA 7 or, I mean, there's like those cards you can get. There's cards at the same price that you can get better. You can buy better, and still sell for the same amount of money.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, it
depends on how long you're gonna hold it.
That's true too.
I mean, like, I mean, Kobe's Topps rookie's about as iconic as you can get.
Yeah.
And in February it was $1,000, and now as a PSA 9, and now it's 500.
Yeah.
So if you bought it in February and want to sell it at the end of the year when the basketball season starts, you're not going to make any money.
Good luck. Yeah.
So if you bought it at 1,000, I mean, it still might not be a bad 10-year hold. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
There's also, like, you know, I'm trying to think of, like, there's cards, a lot of cards out there that aren't iconic or overlooked, and you can get a lot better deals on them.
Yeah.
You know? Even if you're just buying it right now and flipping it right away, you know, if you can buy it for 65 or 75%, as opposed to a card that everybody knows that you've got to pay, you know, pay up for,
right?
You know, it might take longer to sell those cards that aren't as well known, but it's the same.
Hey, don't be saying that name in here, Theodore. Nobody's supposed to know who Kelnick is. Kelnick sucks. Don't buy Kelnick.
Excuse me. Alexander Ramirez. Okay. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find the guy for Arkansas? Pretty sure his name's Julio.
Julio?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe he's with Omaha now.
I'm just gonna go Kansas City Royals top 20 prospects.
Yeah, he might have. I mean, pretty good scout, but maybe he got traded. Barkley and Shaq are great investments. Yeah, I think so. One of the things we talk about a lot is about how when Mike was talking about when he first started in this full time, everybody wanted Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah,
that was like your iconic over Mickey Mantle and over Sandy Koufax and over everybody else.
It's because the people that had the money back then, the guys that were retired in their 60s and 70s, that was their favorite players.
Yeah.
And that's when I got started. I mean, you're talking, you know, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio stopped in early 50s. Mm-hmm. So those guys were 10 years old. They were born in 43, 50, you know, probably 33. Mm-hmm. And those guys would be 90 now. So hopefully.
Yeah.
But Mantle started in 51.
Yeah.
And so those guys that saw him his entire career up to 68, 69, those guys are now in their 60s, you know, and, you know, 1970 was 50 years ago, so they're in their 70, 75. And Mantle's even, I mean, there's Mantle's Mantle right now, but there's Aaron guys, you know, there's other guys that
Clemente.
Yeah.
Clemente, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Pete Rose. Pete Rose stuff has gone through the moon in the last couple of years, hasn't it?
Relative to what it was, I mean, talk about iconic rookie cards. Yeah.
Was there 2 PSA 10s of the Mantle? Or of the Pete Rose rookie card?
Not very many, yeah.
There's not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but there's not very many.
Yeah, not very many. I mean, it's a 63 high number. That's tough in its own, but that's a trivia question.
But also
the other 3 guys on there.
Getting PSA to give an iconic rookie card a 10.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Who are the other guys? One of them Chris always mentions.
What iconic rookies?
No, the other guy with Pete Rose.
Oh,
Rose
yeah.
That had like 220 career home runs.
The one I always remember is Kuzman. Jerry Kuzman's rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
So. Brendan Rodgers. Man, that guy's been a prospect for 5 years. I mean, I like him too, but it's because he's a Rocky, not because he's...
But there's a world where people move out of the Mantle, Koufax.
It's 10 years away.
Clemente era. Hank Aaron era, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Hank Aaron played into the 70s.
Late 70s.
Clemente played into the 70s. But yeah, I mean, we're at the end of the Jackie Robinson era. We're at the end of the
I bought this week I got a 55 Ted Williams. That still got to me into the 70s. The guy that stands out right now, the guy that has the most value, is someone like George Brett.
I was gonna say George Brett. He's one of the only. I mean, he's one of the only superstars to come out of the 70s, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean Mike Schmidt was there.
Mike Schmidt was in the 70s.
I mean, Yount had 2 MVPs, first ballot.
Yeah.
The best card guy of that era is a pitcher, Nolan Ryan.
68.
In the 90s.
The weirdest thing to me is I'm almost certain a raw Nolan Ryan rookie card was selling for the same money when I was 10 years old as it is today. I swear it is.
Probably more.
Maybe.
Do you remember that deal where the kid bought it for $12?
Yeah.
It was a card shop.
Yeah.
And his wife was running the shop.
Yeah.
And it said 1200.
Yeah.
$1,200 for Nolan Ryan raw.
Yeah.
It's not worth that now.
No.
Even now.
No, you can get them like lower grade for like $250, right?
Yeah. I mean, a little more than that, but yeah, 400.
Yeah. And then a regular PSA 4 or 5 is
Yeah.
like 800,
Yeah,
900.
right. It's less than what it was 20 years ago.
Yeah. It might be a little bit more, but I think they were
$1,200 back then was not worth. I mean, inflation or whatever. It's probably more, but still, less dollar amount.
You might have been able to get one for like $750. I don't know. At that point in my life, any amount of money was out of my.
Yeah, you didn't keep track of it.
If it was over $5,
right.
like I had a. Then it wasn't. It was out of my. But I'm pretty sure, like it wasn't. It wasn't much less, if not more. Molitor, Molitor,
yeah, but none of those guys are. None of those guys are iconic. Like
they're not guys that. They're not guys.
Mickey Mantle.
No, Nolan Ryan's a guy that could do that.
You know who probably the next guy would be? Is probably Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah, that's a
I mean, like above baseball type of iconic guy. But heck, those careers are 13 years apart.
I had a chance. You know how tickets, like game use tickets, have gone through the roof? Like a year ago, I was looking at Cal Ripken Jr., like a certified PSA game ticket from his last game of the streak. And I could have bought it for like $20. I don't know what they're worth now, but I've never looked. But you know, that's I heard that stuff was going crazy, and I'm like, I knew that was, and I did bid on it. It was just like, well, they're going for $20-25.
Yeah.
Like,
just made. Now in a heartbeat, I'd buy that thing back for $150. Like, I wish I had that thing back now. You know, it's just so weird how stuff goes up and down as much as it does. Like,
those tickets were something that I was like, that's really cool. You can get it slabbed, like,
cheap.
That just seems like something that ought to be worth more. And apparently it was. Just not quite yet.
We didn't have the patience to wait the extra few months.
I have zero patience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I want something I can sell right now. But yeah, I think Brett, Ryan, I think you're right about Cal Ripken Jr. I mean, you got Griffey in there, but he's always been, always going to be. But I think you're right. Cal Ripken Jr.
Griffey will be when it's his turn.
Yeah.
But we're talking Mantle last played in 69 and Griffey first played in 89. There's a 20-year gap where somebody's got to take it. I mean, maybe nobody takes it from Mantle.
Yeah.
I mean, there's kids that come up and want to buy Mantle cards right now.
Honus Wagner's.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it's because of the rarity.
The card is.
Yeah, the card is. Honus Wagner. Nobody cares about Honus Wagner, the player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the card has taken on it. The card is famous.
Could what couldn't happen is, someone like, Joe Montana's rookie maybe since we're so spread out more, maybe the Larry Bird Magic rookie takes over, or Bird or Magic takes over instead, or Bird and Magic together take over instead of, because we're definitely more spread out than there just has to be one guy.
People have no idea how good Magic Johnson was.
Yeah,
like people as a whole, like have no idea how different, how good, how much he changed basketball.
He played center. He played point guard in the finals, and then played center his rookie year in the finals, right?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I just know having a guy his size that could shoot like him and pass like him and do everything was not something that existed.
No, I'm pretty sure about this, or I wouldn't say it. He started at point guard, and Kareem got hurt, and then he finished at center in the same final series. Like I remember him doing Kareem's hook shot.
He could play,
in
any position.
And I'm not a basketball historian by any means, but I remember that.
86 Fleer is the only set that year.
Yeah.
You want a basketball card from 1986? It's the only one you're getting.
Yeah.
The Bird Magic's 81, but
it's the only one.
In between there was nothing, right?
Yeah.
That was the last set.
No, they didn't. Bird Magic have second years, but after that, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's nothing until nothing tops till 92.
No. Star cards, kind of, but yeah, not really.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got a friggin' John Stockton star card rookies around here. I gotta get.
I feel like the star cards, I feel like that was a smear campaign. You know what I mean? You always used to hear so much about how Star made a ton of reprints into the 90s, and you can't trust them. That's why PSA won't grade them. And all that stuff. Did you've heard all that stuff, right?
Yeah. But is
it true?
I don't think it's Star that was doing it. I think they're just. I mean, seriously, they were so crappy made that they're easy to reprint.
Anybody
could.
Yeah,
anybody with a laser printer could. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
The team packs. Yeah, that's the reason they don't count them as, because you didn't buy them out of packs. You just bought the team sets. They were already still packed up. Somewhere I got 84 star Utah Jazz team set around there somewhere.
When it comes to baseball cards, I'll only buy Bowman Chrome and Bowman First Edition and Bowman Prospect cards, which I don't think is bad by any means.
No,
but it doesn't mean it won't change. That the Bowman First is the standard, but
there's exceptions to that rule. Not a ton of them, but 2016 Juan Soto only has an auto.
Yeah.
So his 2017 Bowman Chrome that doesn't have anything on it sells for $30.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a handful of those sitting around.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that I wish Christian Pache was a better player than he is.
Yeah, so much.
Well, I just like it that it's so funny to me that he has a 2017 Bowman that doesn't have the first on it, but he's got a 2018 Bowman that does have the first, and everybody wants the 18 Bowman.
Really?
Yeah. And it's happened with a couple of guys, but he was the biggest that had a chance of I was buying 17 Pache stuff for $0.
Yeah.
And the 18 is the one that has the auto, and it's the one that has the first.
Why would they do that?
They don't keep track of their own stuff. It's hard to keep track of their own stuff.
Yeah, they make so much.
Yeah. But
yeah, I just think but popularity of cards differs, but I can't think of a good example where Topps Chrome basketball was a big deal in the 90s and 2000s, still a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, Bowman Chrome, Bowman First were a big deal in the last decade.
Everything's secular though. Like
Still a big deal.
Prism wasn't a big deal for a
Not
long
at
time.
all.
Topps Chrome footballs, I mean, the iconic guys are still good, but you know, if I had some Jameis Winston, I'd be selling them right now. You know, I mean, Topps Chrome's still a big deal. If Topps Chrome comes back, man, it's Katie bar the door.
Why isn't Matt Ryan's? I mean, I understand, like,
gosh, if he would have beat Brady, you know the difference in his trajectory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a Matt Ryan Topps Chrome PSA 10's $150.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
He's like 8th all time in yardage, and
yeah. And not with the best team.
Still
he had
relevant.
a really good team
Yeah.
for a while, but he was also a really good quarterback.
Yeah, I saw the thing Aaron Rodgers passed John Elway for yardage, and it's like the people in front of him are like Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers and Matt Stafford, and it's like, you know, it's like maybe this isn't the list of the 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time. You know,
Yeah.
it's just the era they were in.
I've got 10 Phillips. Yeah, exactly. 10 Phillip Rivers rookies on
It's like
eBay
4th
right
or
now.
5th all time in yardage.
Make me an offer. Make me
Link below.
There's nothing wrong with them. They'll only go up in value. Well, that's not necessarily true, but
Yeah.
no, they're on my store. My store's not linked below.
Oh, my bad.
Mine's the mystery store. Only those in the know can find it. I gotta keep them guessing. We probably need to
Yeah, let's wrap
get
it up.
over here. We're gonna wrap it up, guys.
Sign off.
We've been here for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's too long. You guys told us to leave.
That's 2 hours too long.
We were done in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, hell, it took me 30 minutes to figure out how to work the camera.
Anybody been watching this long deserves extra credit.
Yeah, gold stars all around.
Yeah. Don't leave a like. Don't follow.
Mike Moustakas rookie cards.
Yeah.
Just send $1 and plus shipping and handling.
Self-addressed envelope.
envelope to 1524 Northeast 96th Street. Sweet D.
We don't tell you
Liberty.
the city. You have to find that out.
Yeah, that's another one you gotta find. All right, guys.
Thank you, Theodore. Thank you, Al.
Thank you all
Everybody's
so
still
much.
watching. Appreciate you guys.
Y'all have a great night.
Good
Talk
night.
to you later.